are starting 2026 with a case outside of the United States, where we are. This is a solved case for you today that happened back in 2014 in the United Kingdom. Today, we are talking about the murder of Sameena Imam. Before anything else, I want to say that there's not a lot out there on who Sameena was when it comes to her upbringing and her childhood. But I do want to start with what we do know when it comes to the woman at the center of this case. At the time that all of this takes place, Sameena was a 34-year-old regional marketing manager for Costco. She worked across multiple cities in England: Cardiff, Bristol, Southampton, Coventry. So she was busy, but she was also the person that people just magnetized towards. She was described as bubbly, warm, kind, and beautiful, which she truly was beautiful. Like, in the pictures that I've seen of her, she has this infectious smile. And that tied in with what we can only assume was an incredible work ethic based on being the regional manager or marketing manager across multiple Costcos, makes me believe that she was a force to be reckoned with. Her family adored her. Her coworkers praised her. She was successful, ambitious, and had a huge heart. But she also had a secret, one that she believed would turn into something beautiful. But unfortunately, that's not the case. And it's exactly why we're sitting here talking about it today. Sameena was in a relationship with a man named Roger Cooper. Roger was 41 years old and actually worked for Costco as well. He was the Costco warehouse manager in Coventry. And let me tell you, Roger was that guy who looked put together, the charismatic boss, the guy who joked with everyone. It seemed to me, from what I've read, he seemed like he was the guy that thought of himself as like the it guy and just walked around like he owned the place. But behind the scenes, he was what I'd like to call a disaster.
He's a trash bag of disaster human being.
Yes. We're going to get into all of that.
And how this trash bag of a disaster human being
ends up
was
with
able to,
so
like, you can tell that he was also just a psychopath. The fact that he was able to charm and manipulate and do what he did.
Yep.
That's just, but trash.
You guys, it's very clear Heather knows this case. She knows all about it.
Dumpster fire disaster trash.
Dumpster fire disaster trash. So Roger, I guess the thing we should get into is why we dislike him so much, on top of why you guys already know we dislike him. But Roger was juggling 3 different romantic relationships at the same time. Not 1, not 2, but 3. And here's the thing. If you're not in a relationship or you're not tied down or it's open, whatever, okay, do your own thing. But that wasn't the case here.
Yeah.
And Sameena was one of those relationships. So Roger had a long-term partner that he actually referred to as his wife because they had been together for such a long time, but they were not actually married. Then he had another woman that he was seeing at the same time, and then him and Sameena had actually been dating or having an affair for 2 years. 2 years where Sameena believed this man loved her. 2 years of promises, 2 years of lies. This relationship started as a secret for more reasons than just that he was already shacking up with multiple other women. But while working at Costco, it's completely against company policy to date another employee. But we see that often in stories that we tell, or just in life in general. I'm sure everyone listening can think of someone you know who has dated a coworker, or you've probably dated a coworker yourself. You guys, Heather is raising her hand. I will raise my hand.
To be fair, he waited until I wasn't working there anymore to ask me out. And now we're married, so it's fine.
Yeah. See, there are successful stories when it comes to this, but unfortunately, there's a lot of unsuccessful stories. And I was one of those unsuccessful.
I was going to say.
But just like it was a mistake for me, this was a mistake for Sameena. Because by late 2014, Sameena was just done with the secrecy. She tells Roger, "You can either leave your partner or I'm gone." It was an ultimatum, yes, but one that makes sense after 2 years of waiting. Roger tells her he's going to leave her, but behind her back, he panics. Because if the affair comes out, he could lose his job, he could lose his wife, quotations, he could lose his other relationships, he could lose the control that he had over all of these women as well. And God forbid a man lose control. This did not sit right with Roger whatsoever, and instead of doing the adult and grown man mature thing to do and just end whatever relationship needed to be ended, or all three of them, in my opinion, he comes up with another plan, a horrific one. And here's where things start to turn for the worse. Roger reaches out to his brother. Yep, his brother, David Cooper. And these two siblings create a plan that they thought would end up giving Roger his freedom back at the stakes of taking Samina's away from her. We're going to fast forward just a little bit to the day after Christmas. Samina's family in Essex reported her missing when she failed to show up for their holiday gathering. They knew something was wrong when they were unable to contact her beforehand, but once she didn't show up for Christmas, like the original plan that they had, it became more than a worry, it became panic. After she was reported missing, it is said that the investigation started quite quickly, and thankfully so. It's too often we hear about missing persons cases where those intended to help sit on information out of the belief that the person may have ran away or just needed some time.
Mm-hmm.
This case triggered a major police investigation across South Wales, the Midlands, and the East Midlands. Midlands. Detectives quickly focused on Roger. He was the last person known to meet Sameena. ANPR showed vehicles linked to the brothers repeatedly traveling between Coventry and Leicester around the time that she vanished. So they continued digging into the investigation, and thankfully so, because very quickly things get suspicious. Her BMW is found abandoned in Luton. No fingerprints on the vehicle, as if it was wiped clean. The driver's seat pushed way too far back for someone of her height. She was 5'2", and her belongings were missing out of the vehicle. When they look into her phone, the phone tracking shows that she went to Leicester with Roger. And guess who lived in Leicester? David, his brother. When investigators search David's home, they find a few things that are very concerning. They find Samina's bottle of Bellini and snacks that she had bought that were linked to the CCTV footage that they had found of her before the night that she went missing.
Right.
And just other evidence that she had been in this home. The investigation zeroed in on David's allotment, cell site data, the brothers' movements, and then there was even evidence of a pre-dug grave that all led the police there. And on the fourth day of digging, archaeologists uncover a sleeping bag, and inside was Sameena. Roger and David Cooper were both arrested on January 7th, just 2 weeks after the murder, and they were both charged for murder on January 9th. Here's where things get even more bizarre. Both brothers, of course, claim their innocence and play dumb, as can be. They're imbeciles. They play dumb as if they had nothing to do with this, but some of the things that come out in this trial will blow your mind. These two brothers concocted this heinous and sad plan together and decided to speak in different coding throughout the time, some of it being Star Wars coding, to try to, play it off as if it wasn't them.
Disgusting.
It's disgusting when you know that one person is capable or willing to do something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And when you know another will join you, and you're a sibling, like, what happened to these two? I don't know. Anywho, we find out that there was actually a first attempt that the brothers made that happened on December 12th, 2014. On December 12th, Roger tells Sameena that he booked them a room at a Premier Inn after a work Christmas party. David was waiting outside the hotel in a rental car, ready to kidnap her. The plan completely falls apart, though, when the driver dropped her off at a different location. So he was waiting in one side, she went through a different side, so Sameena goes into this hotel alone, safely, and David sends Roger a coded text, not Star Wars this time, but in French, saying, "The window is closed." So therefore, they've missed their little time slot that they were trying to execute their first attempt. Did not happen. They give up temporarily. Then, on Christmas Eve, Sameena is tragically murdered in David's home. The brother of the man that she wanted to be with, the man that she was waiting for, and the one that she finally laid down the line and said, "Listen, you need to make a choice." And the choice that he made took her life. Sameena left work. Roger left just a few minutes after her, met in the parking lot. She transferred her luggage from her BMW into Roger's Audi. And she thinks they're going on a romantic little holiday trip to Birmingham. She even calls her sister during the drive and ends up telling her that she's going away with Roger and that she will see her the day after Christmas at their holiday gathering, which is called Boxing Day. It's tragically heartbreaking because this is the last time that anyone hears Sameena's voice. Roger instead drives her straight to David's house in Leicester. And the moment that Sameena walks inside the home, these two giant men ambush her. These brothers are over 6'5", both of them. One is 6'5", the other I think is 6'7". And Sameena, she's only 5'2". She didn't stand a chance. They used chloroform right when she walked through the door, which Roger literally bought on eBay.
Why can you buy that on eBay?
Apparently, someone was saying you can even buy it on Amazon. I did not look to verify this.
Is there some other reason to use chloroform other than that? I mean, I don't see why that should be allowed.
Also, even if there is another reason, right? Don't sell it on Amazon or eBay. If there's another reason that you can use it for something else, which you guys, maybe we should know the answer to this. Like now I want to look it up and Google it and see what you can use it. Heather's on it. She's going to look it up right now. But the thing is like when you go to a grocery store and you're going to check out and you have Sharpies, they ID you. They're like, you're 18. You have to be 18 to buy a Sharpie. How can you legally just buy chloroform, which is something that people use in so many?
Yeah, it should be regulated because it says used in pesticides, production of dyes. So there are other reasons, but it's definitely one of those things that should be a controlled substance. Like when you go to Lowe's and you have to buy a can of paint, like they card you. Like it's that kind of thing.
Yeah. And on top of that, just add their name to a list.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is the chloroform purchase list. So as soon as something happens, you can go down the line and be like, oh, suspect. Okay, pull that up and see what else was bought. All of that. I mean, question everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Not only do they use chloroform, they also give her a mix of metallic poisons: arsenic, cadmium, tin, mercury, antimony, like some kind of horrifying chemistry class. By 6:25 p.m., Roger leaves to establish an alibi, and David is left alone in his home to dispose of her body on his property in the pre-dug grave that he had already set up. After all of this, to make it look like Sameena stormed off somewhere, Roger sends texts from her phone to himself. One of the messages says, quote, "I am fuming. I am going to where I am truly cared for," end quote. But this dude must not know how phone tracking works because investigators figure out very quickly that the phone wasn't moving the way that he claimed or the text messages claimed. It showed that Sameena's phone stayed right wherever Roger was. the entire time. After Roger leaves and David disposes of Samina's body, they think they did it. They think they successfully wiped their hands clean. But like I mentioned earlier, the investigators and law enforcement did not sleep on this case. They got to work right away and were able to piece it all together, leading them straight to these idiots.
That's the thing that's so frustrating is, like, they come up with this whole freaking plan, and they're it's not a it's like, did you watch some stupid movie or something? Like, this is not a good but at the same time, I'm like, "Thank God it was so stupid because you guys got caught immediately."
Yeah.
But it's like, you're coming up, like, and the whole annoying thing is that it's so premeditated that at any point along the way, either of them could have said, "We don't need to be doing this. We should not be doing this." But instead, like, no, it was like they take
egged each
all
other
these
on.
exactly.
It's ridiculous. Here's a part of this that stands out to many people when they hear about the tragedy of Sameena. On David's shed, out on his property, where they ultimately ended up finding Sameena, there was a sign that said, "Don't wind me up. I'm running out of places to hide the bodies." Before Christmas Eve, this could have been seen as like dark humor, a dark, weird joke. After Christmas Eve, it became horrifyingly literal. The trial lasted 10 weeks at the Birmingham Crown Court.
Birmingham.
But then I said, like, I felt like I said Crown weird. Like, everything just sounded funny because I was focused on Birmingham. Fucking finger. The trial lasts 10 weeks at Birmingham Crown Court. Prosecutors lay out everything. The coded messages, like I mentioned. It said that they used Star Wars terminology in their messages to each other to hide their plan. And calling each other Darth Vader or
Ugh.
referring to Death Star space station,
Ugh.
whatever. But saying things
Disgusting.
like mission abort or abort mission, Death Star complete, stay on target, look at the size of that thing, you are expected, Vader, those kind of things.
It's so
Their
gross.
choice. It's gross.
So gross. And it's also giving Adelson's, like, it's giving the whole
Right.
quote unquote coded messages, but like, no, it's not coded. You're just stupid.
Yeah. Hey, we want to commit this really, really horrible thing. Let's talk
Yeah.
about a TV repairman coming in
Exactly.
type thing.
Oh, it's a
They
TV repairman. It's Dad's birthday surprise. I know you'll come through on Dad's birthday surprise. It's so gross.
Yeah. I don't know how people, well, I don't know how people live with themselves, but again, it just goes down to the fact of like, how can people just team up this way to do, I don't know. Anyways,
Mhm.
on top of that, there's the failed first attempt, the chloroform purchase, the bizarre metal toxins, the phone tracking, the pre-dug grave, the fake text messages, CCTV footage, and online searches. It was an avalanche of evidence. The jury deliberated, and both brothers were unanimously found guilty. The judge absolutely roasted them, calling them cold-blooded, calculated murderers, and said that they worked hand in glove to kill a joyful young woman betrayed by someone she loved. Both received life sentences with a minimum of 30 years. And right now, where things stand today, Roger and David Cooper are still behind bars and will be there for decades. Sameena's family continues to mourn her. Their statements are gut-wrenching. One of them, from her father, said, "It is hard for us to imagine that an innocent, kind, beautiful girl could be murdered, let alone our daughter." This case became one of the most chilling Christmas Eve murders in the UK and everywhere. And even now, years later, people still talk about how cold and calculated it was. This is such a heartbreaking story that never needed to end the way that it did. And I want to remind everyone listening that Sameena is at the center of this case. That is who we should be thinking about. Sameena took a stand. She stood up for herself and she said, "Make your choice." She didn't want that life anymore. She wanted to move forward with the person she thought was her person, the one that she wanted to be with, and instead, it ended in tragedy. Our hearts are with Sameena's family, and our middle fingers are up towards the Cooper brothers. May they rot where they deserve to be. You've heard the case.
Now comes our unscripted afterthoughts. Freaking cowards. Cowards. Absolute, like, it's horrible. And it's so shitty that a woman decides, look, I'm tired of your bullshit. You've been telling me for years that we're going to be together. So here it is. Let's be together or let's not. Like, the other option was, we don't need to be together.
Yeah, you had a choice.
Exactly. That's it. It can be over and just let it be over. But because this psychopath piece of shit needed to have all the control, he does this, and in the end gets his brother to go along with it. It's like, that's so gross.
It is gross. I hate it. I hate it all. There's so many different things while I'm looking into this, thinking about it, writing it, researching it, all of it, that it's like, I hurt for people who you believe, and I can speak. I've been there. Everyone listening, I've been here. I've been a misinformed human. Okay.
Yeah. Having trust in someone who you have no reason not to trust, who's just been lying to you.
Yeah, they're good at what they do.
They're psychopaths.
Yes, exactly. So they are where they deserve to be. Sameena is not. I hate it all. I mean, every time we end a case, I hate it.
I know.
Yeah. I would love to know what your guys' thoughts are. If you're listening, Spotify, wherever, come to our Instagram. I'm going to post some pictures. The other thing that I think about constantly is how ridiculously huge these two dudes were compared to her. Like, that's just I don't know why that adds, like, that height adds to so much, where it's like
predatory.
Yes.
It's not just like and the fact that it was so premeditated and they knew, like, they would be able to overpower her. It's so predatory. It's not that I'm saying this is any better, but, like, a lot of times if it's like a what do they call it? Crime of passion. They give people some kind of mitigated circumstance. Not that I'm saying it's okay to take another person's life at all. Yeah. But, like, if you randomly get in a fight with someone and you shove them and then they die, like, they consider that a mitigating circumstance. But it's like, this is like, it's so premeditated. It's so
dug a grave beforehand.
Exactly.
It doesn't get more premeditated than that.
It's so predatory because of, I know, like, we're these two huge guys that can easily overpower her. We're gonna, it's so horrible.
Yeah.
And I'm glad the judge raked them over the coals because that's what they deserve. And they need to serve every ounce of that sentence.
And some.
And
just add some more to
the
it.
family should go after them civilly and take anything and everything because they took everything from her.
I know.
So it's and that fucker, like, they don't have any remorse for it.
No,
they don't have any remorse for it. They do not care what they did, especially when they're like, yep, not guilty, I'm not guilty.
Yeah.
Okay, you're an idiot.
Eventually, I mean, if it didn't happen the way that it happened, I like to think that they would have turned on each other and it would have become this disgusting brother brawl. I'm glad it happened this quickly because, I mean, it needs to be over and done with, answers, all of that as quickly as possible. But there is a version of me that's like, no, I want to see them beat each other's ass because they're dumb. Isn't that gross of me? That's kind of gross of me.
I mean, they put her and the family through hell, so they deserve, if that,
agreed.
More, if not just more.
Yeah. All right, now we're going to switch gears and just hang out for a bit.
If you're still here with us, thank you. This is the mom talk you didn't know you needed.
So, for everyone listening, this is our first episode of 2026, and our format is a little different. So, we are going, if you've made it this far, we are going to be telling the case right off the bat, get to it, tell the case. We are going to have our afterthoughts on that case. And then, of course, for those who love us, who want to hear from us, we have our own little check ins to do. There's so many of you that we've created relationships with and who love to hear the chit chat. So, Heather, happy 2026, my friend.
2026, baby.
Yes.
Although it's not that happy.
It's not.
Yeah, we are. Right. So it was crazy because I think you said that they were arrested on the 9th, and today.
Oh, yeah. No, they were
9th?
arrested on the 7th and they were charged on the 9th. Yeah.
On the 9th. Charged on the 9th. Today is
11 years.
January 9th. The day that we're recording this is January 9th.
Right. I don't know how to math.
We are 9 days into 2026, and I am telling you it's not been great. So let's just pretend that this first part of January is still part of 2025. And let's start fresh this next week and hope that actual 2026 is going to be better, because what the fuck is going?
I totally see where you're coming from, but I'm in this position right now where we have said it so many times. You guys have heard us complain about 2025, and we kept saying we cannot wait for 2026. 2026 is going to be our year when 2026 comes. And so with that said, I see where you're coming from, but I kind of want to raise you a different perspective, because this is how I'm trying to retrain my brain.
Fair. That's such a good idea.
It's not going to get better. It's not going to, I know that sounds horrific, to say, but there are going to be those days that suck. There are going to be those things that pop up. There are going to be those things that tear you apart. And you can either say, well, 2027, I can't wait for you. You're going to be waiting a long time,
Right.
So we've got to find whatever good happened in that day or in that week, or what you're looking forward to, and try again, because the negativity of 2025 has to be behind me. That's where I stand today in my new podcasting studio, where I'm coming forward.
I love it. No, I think you're totally right, Rachel. And because we as humans have a tendency to do this, right? To just be like, well, I just need to make it through the end of the week, or I just need to make it to Friday, or I just need to wait until I get that new job, or I just need to wait till 2026 and everything will be better. But those are kind of subjective, almost made up things in our brain of things will just magically fix when you get to that point. But you're right. The truth is that it comes from an internal reframe of, how can I make this better? And so you're 100% correct. And that is something, I don't know, maybe I need to start what do they call it, gratefulness journal or something. And it's so funny because I was literally just talking to my daughters about this.
Yeah.
About, because my younger one has this tendency, I don't know why, lately when we ask her, how was your day at school? What did you do? And she goes, oh, it was a bad day. And we go, why? And she just she'll be like, oh, so-and-so didn't give me a hug today. And I'll be like, okay, well, what? And then we literally just yesterday were saying, okay, well, let's think about some good things that happened today.
Right.
Well, what about this? What about that? And you're right. We need to, I need to, especially, that should be a personal goal of mine, is to model that for my kids. And, focus on the positive, focus on the grateful. There's been so many studies that talk about how gratefulness is a big mood changer. And that's something that
we have so many good things. So many. And it's so easy to focus on the negative. But another thing, when you were talking about her coming home and saying, so-and-so didn't hug me, I think also learning that if your friend didn't hug you and you want to hug, go hug them. Because you can't always wait for someone else to do it. Make that phone call. Call that person, write them the letter, text them, whatever it may be. You can't always sit around and wait for someone to do that. They may be having their own things that they don't do, and they may need that hug just as
100%.
much as you want it. So you better tell your daughter, you better go hug that kid. You better go hug that.
Yeah. Why don't you just give her a hug? I think that's part of it too, with everything going on in the world, guys.
Oh, yeah.
It's definitely, hug that person, call that person, because you never know. This shit's crazy. The
It's so
world
funny.
is crazy.
It's not. Sorry. It's not funny at all. But it's like, I feel like the past couple years, and this is just coming to me like right now. I haven't had this thought whatsoever previous to this moment in time. But it's like the past couple years, myself and a lot of people that I've seen, I feel like wanted to become harder. They wanted to set more boundaries. They wanted to get more angry. They wanted to stand up for themselves. And I think it's beautiful. I think that that's necessary and it needs to be done. But I think that also we need to remember that you've got to give yourself some grace. You got to give other people some grace. You've really got to like focus on some good shit. Because if you're only focusing on hard, if you're only focusing on how to be a badass, you might lose sight of all the other good little things. Balance, such a good word.
It's a balance, because there's definitely part of me who feels that, setting a boundary, like, for example, like you said, setting a boundary with a person, it makes you feel like, oh, like I'm being strong and I'm being strict and I'm setting this boundary. But you also have to think that's giving yourself grace. That's also allowing yourself to heal depending on what is going on. And it's so funny you say that, because I am personally going through this stage where someone I'm close to, I want to set a boundary with, but I want to do it in such a way that I set my boundary, but I'm also not carrying with me everything from the past where they broke that boundary. Right? Because if I walk into a situation where I am looking for them to break the boundary, I'm going to find it. Confirmation bias is real. So I need to set the boundary. I need to have some trust and some faith that I've done the right thing, and that believe that they will at least attempt to respect that. Because if I go in thinking, well, I said it and I know you're going to break it, then they're going to fucking break it. I'll look for a reason for them being for it being broken. So it's so interesting you say that, because you're right. It's set a boundary, but also have some grace and be, try to have an open mind in terms of allowing that to flourish, and don't like stamp it out immediately. Yeah. And I am in a personal situation where like that's where I'm at, and so it's you're so right. You're so right.
You're welcome.
And I that was it.
You're welcome, everyone everyone who's telling me that I'm so right now while you're listening. You're welcome. I know you needed that words of wisdom.
I did need it. Maybe that is the theme of 2026 is balance and gratefulness. Maybe I think we've done this before, right? Yeah. Where we try to come.
Every year we try again. Yeah.
And I couldn't tell you what. I think actually last year might have been grace for me, and somebody tell us. But I think this year, I think balance and gratefulness. Gratefulness is really what I want to go for this year. So
I love
catch me with my gratefulness journal.
Catch me with
I've
that
never been a journaler. I've never been a journaler, but.
One thing I want to add as we're talking about the gratefulness and when words and stuff, and no, this is not like a New Year's resolution post type thing, but I've been slacking personally in the social media department lately, and I am getting back into it, I promise. And I want to say, anyone who's listening, if you're not following our social media, or if you are, I will be as active as I used to be. I promise. I'm putting my foot down. I actually had to set the balance and the boundaries on the social media and take that break, which is important. So
exactly,
be aware. Like, I understand.
Coming full circle.
Exactly. It really is. But I mean, even this, like, the first thing I want to do is go and say, like, what are you guys grateful for? So I'm going to be posting that. If you're listening today, go on the social media. I want to know what you're grateful for. And also, the other thing I want to say before we log off right now is it feels so good to be back. We have missed each other, and we have missed you, and we have been eagerly awaiting I'm so sorry you guys had to live without us for like 2
I know.
months, but
I hope you went back and listened to some of your old favorite episodes.
Yeah.
To
I know I didn't.
secure that fix. Yeah. No, I'm glad to be back too. I'm looking forward to I'm very grateful for our balance that we've struck, and we're going to move forward in a positive manner because we took our break, and now that's why we can do
Exactly.
that's our balance.
We got a lot to do this year, so we need to get that shit together.
It's gonna be fun.
Balance board. See, the cool thing about balance is if we ever get like a little wobbly, you can step on one side and like help balance me out. See, teamwork comes with balance too.
It's a seesaw suspended in midair.
I always, anytime someone says seesaw, I want to say teeter-totter because it's like people called things different names. Yeah. And I always thought it was like a teeter-totter. And I'm like, wait, I have heard seesaw. So it's like, I wonder what other names are. They are the same thing, but it's just so funny. Oh, man. They're all balancing things. Huh?
Uppy downy machine?
Yeah, never heard that one, but if you called it that, that's good for you. All right. With that said, we will talk to you guys next week because we are back, baby. Stay tuned for that. And hopefully you like this new kind of structure and us chit-chatting. Hopefully you stay for it. We'll talk to you guys next week. Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye. 2025. Welcome to 2026.
Whoop, 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 whoop. But behind the scenes, he was what I'd like to call a disaster.
A disaster?
He's a fucking disaster, this guy, I swear.
He is a disaster.